With the recent announcement of Behavior's newest iteration of 2v8, which will be the Attack on Titan 2v8 coming on the 28th of April, it's always really exciting whenever a new 2v8 comes in. We have a bunch of new players coming in. Not really new players, but people who don't really play, but like to play when 2v8's out. A lot more blood points. 2v8 Killer is always fun, with some asterisks. And Survivor, while it is not as interesting, you get a lot of blood points, so it's at least that. But I think one thing that Behavior really has not addressed at all is its killer balance. The way how killers are handled in 2v8 is very weird. Some high tier killers, like Wesker, Nurse, Blight, seem to just get huge buff walls that they really don't need as much, while characters like Deathslinger for ages only had two small buffs that really did nothing to help him. Or with Nemesis. Nemesis' zombies were literally useless. They were just slightly faster, two zombies on huge maps that just did absolutely nothing. The Trapper changes just seem to be more quality of life changes than anything. Starting with more traps, more haste, setting them faster is helpful, but not that much. It just makes setting traps a bit faster, which, if you really think about it, does really nothing. Because if someone gets trapped on the other side of the map, or someone disarms it, what are you going to do about it? The lack of iridescent stone, bloody coil, honing stone, really hurts Trapper, and makes it so he's kind of just forced to sit in one corner of the map and hard defend gens, which is something he already does. And as you'll see in the gameplay, I'm just getting destroyed. Mostly because I'm kind of bad at the game, but also because Trapper absolutely sucks dick. And the way how you would actually fix Trapper is very simple. Just give him the add-ons I mentioned. That way, so he isn't just forced to sit in one corner of the map and just hard defend it. He can actually go out and do whatever the fuck he wants. So that people are punished for disarming, people are actually punished for falling into traps, and most importantly, he doesn't have to go to the other side of the map just to rearm one trap because the survivor disarmed it. With these changes, I could see Trapper being an alright 2v8 killer. Trapper is just fundamentally not that strong of a killer, so he still won't be that great. But he wouldn't be bottom of the barrel garbage like what he is right now. And the poster child for bad killers, Ghostface. When Ghostface was announced to be added into 2v8, it was really exciting. Because Ghostface is a very popular killer, he's a pretty fun killer, and when we got a look at his innate skill, it was frustrating to say the least. Again, it comes with some really good changes that if Ghostface actually got in the base game, would actually probably get him out of D tier. His Night Shout comes back a lot faster, which is always nice. He's faster when in Night Shout, 10%. That's really good and actually feels really nice. And he stalks faster. Wow, all these sound pretty good. So with that, you might think, okay, well Ghostface is like a good support character, kind of like Deathslinger. And then you read that people are only exposed for 30 seconds instead of 60 seconds. Why? Why? He's a D-tier killer in base. He's terrible. But he gets this character-killing nerf for no reason. Does Behavior think a Ghostface will just be everywhere at once, marking everyone a frame before they get downed by the Trapper? Is that really too much? But Wesker having free dashes is okay. Nurse having free blinks is okay. Blight getting the turn rate eerie base is okay. But Ghostface exposing for 60 seconds isn't? It's just ridiculous. A character as bad as Ghostface should not be getting treated like this. And the way how you would fix it is to just remove the exposed, give him the haste add-on for when he marks people base kit, and then give him driver's license, like a fun, more gen regression, because this game mode currently really lacks proper gen regression for the killers. And then easily the character of the most laughable buffs is the Deathslinger. The Deathslinger's power, if you ask me, will struggle as a whole in 2v8 more than it would in base, just because his chases can be a bit slower. Now he is really good at comboing, but you can't really expect to have a combo ready at all times, so you will need to have normal 1v1 chases. But the problem is, you're a 4.4 killer on 2v8 maps. They're ginormous, filled to the brim with pallets. So then you would think they would give Deathslinger something to compensate for the fact that maps are less in his favor and the game mode as a whole would be harder for a killer like Deathslinger. They made him reload 0.6 seconds faster. They made him reel, like, a tiny bit faster. That's it. That is completely it. This is just nothing. You're just playing with 2 add-ons, pretty much, and Deathslinger already has bad add-ons. So, it's literally nothing. They couldn't even give him Eerie Coin as base to actually reward him for range shots. He simply just needs more buffs. That's it. Make him reload faster. Make him reel in even faster. That's what I mean, not faster. And hell, this might be an unpopular opinion. I actually think they should revert his aim-in speed just for 2v8, so he can actually get shots in more consistently against survivors. So that every hit doesn't feel like you have to jump through 7 hoops and 5 god pallets just to reach it. He can be a support killer, but that's not what all he should be. He should be able to function on his own without the killer babysitting him the entire time. I'm just going to give an honorable mention to Pyramid Head, because I've heard a lot of people say that Pyramid Head is bad in 2v8 and that his buffs do nothing. And I will say, I haven't ran into much Pyramid Heads despite him being a pretty popular character. And when I do, they tend to do pretty badly. But Pyramid Head is a killer I have like next to no experience on and know like nothing about. So I can't really talk about them. Which is why I'm not going to talk about them, but I do understand Pyramid Head's struggle in this game mode. I mainly mention these because it's really frustrating to see certain killers that really need more buffs in a game mode like this receive next to nothing, that they can't even get their strong add-ons base kit. Trapper doesn't get any of his Eerie's base kit. Deathslinger gets 2, I'm pretty sure, blue add-ons base kit. And Ghostface, while he does get one effect that you can't get through an add-on, he gets nerfed for it. Wesker cannot have free dashes under no circumstances except for 2v8. Nurse can have free blinks, but it comes at a downside. But there are also S tier and A tier killers that are getting these types of changes. It's why Wesker is so good in this game mode, because he has an effect that you cannot get through an add-on. It's why Dracula is so good. Dracula's buffs help him so much, and his power just works a lot in 2v8, which is ridiculous why he got so many strong buffs compared to Deathslinger or Ghostface. Ghostface, again, who got nerfed. Like, they nerfed Billy, and everyone remembered that reaction to that. Everyone complained about Billy not insta-downing anymore, until it was reverted. Even then, this wasn't Overheat Billy, this was still Overdrive Billy. So the significantly stronger, arguably S-tier Billy, he got a pretty harsh nerf in this game mode, which you could argue is justified. And it got reverted. But it hasn't gone reverted for Ghostface, despite it being, I think, 2 2v8 irritations since his inclusion. I think it is more than fair for him to have that nerf reverted, and maybe giving those 2 add-ons I mentioned before base kit. But why hasn't Behavior done these changes already? Well, it's pretty simple. As I mentioned before, there are tons of players that come in and only play when 2v8 is on, and because of that, not exactly the greatest at the game. No shame to that. This is a pretty hard game to get quote-unquote good at, so I'm not gonna get mad at them for not putting 800 hours in this game. You know, 1v1ing Cowshed. So, because of that, they're not going to be looking at the ground, they're going to be stepping in the traps, they're going to be not trying to dodge Deathslinger at all. They're going to be getting marked by Ghostface and then running into a dead zone and dying. And it's going to boost their kill rate, and because of that, Behavior's going to look at the numbers and be, they're fine, they don't need changes. Which is why they don't really want to do that. And also because they're trying to make Survivor more appealing, more fun, to try and help the queue times for killer. With the play while you wait feature, I would honestly say that they should focus more on the killer experience, even if that means we do have to wait an extra like Survivor game just to get a game of killer. But as a counter argument to that point, who the survivors are playing against will set the mood for the overall match. We have all seen the hatred for Kaneki since the day he released, over a year ago now. Doesn't help that he's so popular, which is what 2v8 has faced for quite a while now. Most of your games will be against Wesker, Oni, Dracula, or Blight. Their powers can actually keep up with the breakneck speeds of gens and comically large pallet counts. While I'm not saying these killers should be nerfed, Wesker should be though. 3 dashes is absolutely fucking crazy. Buffing up these weak killers that people enjoy will make them actually want to play them without practically throwing the game, and make the survivors have more fun if they could search for a game, not having to prepare for the same endless loops of the previous mentioned killers. So I hope Behavior can at least somewhat put the suggestions I mentioned into 2v8. I just want to play Naughty Bear. He's a cool dude. Or, at the very least, put in game modes like Chaos Shuffle and Lights Out more. Seriously, where's that FNAF themed Lights Out I've been waiting since Springtrap came out? Have a good day, night, or afternoon.